Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this fluffy perfect vanilla cake without a mixer. So somebody wanted to order a cake and I didn't have a mixer. You know, if you've been following me for a while, you know why I don't have a mixer or any of my tools. So I had to modify my recipe to be able to make a vanilla cake and have it be fluffy and nice and soft and perfect, even though I don't have a mixer. Okay, so this is my modified recipe and I am going to share it with you today. So if you're looking to make a vanilla cake without a mixer, congratulations for finding this video. Okay, so in this bowl I already added 500 grams of flour, 400 grams of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. That's because, like, you guys know in my usual videos, like, I kind of spread out my ingredients in different bowls, but now I only have 3 bowls in this house and like I have stuff in them. So for today, yeah, I'm just going to be, I already kept all of those things in one bowl, but just going to be using 2 bowls for this recipe basically. Okay, so I wanted to measure with my measuring scale, but I kind of realized that it had no battery, and I have no battery at home, so we're not going to be using that. And I already converted all of the ingredients into cups. Okay, so it's going to be 500. We're going to be needing 200 grams of butter. Forgive me. Oh, am I saying the wrong things today? We're going to be needing 200 grams of butter, and we're going to put it in the microwave and let it melt down. So once that melts, we're going to pour it in our bowl, and then we're also going to be needing 400 grams of milk. And 400 grams of milk is equivalent to about one and a half cups of milk. So we're going to be measuring in cups because we have no measuring scale. Okay, so in a separate bowl, we're going to mix the wet ingredient, and we are going to be needing first the milk, and then we are going to add the butter that already melted. Yeah, some of my butter kind of spilled, so forgive me guys. Okay, so at this point, you want to make sure, I always like to make sure my counter is clean. Like, I can't work in a dirty space, Anyway, so you want to oil or butter your pan. So I bought this pan on Amazon. If you want the link, I'm going to leave the links for you in the description below. And it's a sheet pan, and I bought 2 of them, and they're so perfect. They don't fit perfectly into my oven, so I have to put them on a rack, but they work perfectly and I love them, and they're so light. Anyways, the links are going to be in the description box below. Besides, yeah, everything I used in this video, like the tools, this parchment paper, everything, I had nothing when I moved into this house, so like I had to buy every single thing, and I'm going to leave the links for you guys below to be able to buy in case you'd like to. Okay, so I'm lining my tray with parchment paper, and you don't want to line it like perfectly into the tray. You want there to be like some overhanging so that when the cake rises, it can rise into that, yeah? Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and we're going to turn on our oven to 160 centigrade. I know most people say 180, but it pays you to make sure I'm sorry, and stammering, to make sure your cake bakes slowly. So don't set it to 180, set it to 160. Okay, so to that, we're going to be adding some vanilla, and then we are going to be adding our eggs. So this recipe, you're going to be needing 8 eggs. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but trust me, especially when you're making a recipe without a mixer, you want to add enough eggs because it gives it structure and it makes it light. So instead of having a cake that is really dense and just annoying, it's best you have a lot of eggs in it and use cake flour. In this video, I'm using cake flour, not just regular flour, all-purpose flour, because it gives you a better result, especially if you're not going to be whipping up the butter and sugar, or you're not going to be making a meringue to make it light. Okay, I hope you're understanding me and I'm not just talking, yeah? So you want to add the eggs, and then you want to whisk it together, and then add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients, and then we are going to mix. It's better if you don't mix it with a spatula, because a whisk will do a better job, because that way you have less lumps and you won't have to mix for that long before it mixes, so you don't make your cake tough. So you just want to mix it until it is fully combined, and then we're going to transfer it into our sheet cake pan, and then we are going to bake. The most important thing with this recipe, there are two most important things you should know with this recipe. You want to use a cake flour. If you don't have cake flour, I'm going to show you guys how to make cake flour in my next video, but let me tell you now, if you don't have cake flour, all you need is a cup of flour, two tablespoons of corn starch, maybe corn starch or potato starch, and then a tablespoon of baking powder. Yes, that's what makes you cake flour. Okay, you want to use cake flour and you want to use a lot of eggs. Okay, so that's all, and then we're going to pour it in our pan, and then we are going to bake. Ding 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 ding. I'm not very used to these oven yet, so like I'm going to be starting slow, and I don't have an oven thermometer, so I'm just putting it at 160, and then we are going to just pop it inside and keep an eye on it because I don't know how fast or how slow it will bake. Okay, so this sheet pan doesn't exactly fit perfectly into my oven, and like I was really disappointed when I got it, but it's really good. Like the quality is really perfect. It just wasn't the perfect size for me. Okay, so once it comes out of the oven, after about 10 minutes, when it's almost cold, you want to wrap it in cling film. The reason is because you don't want to just leave it out and then it will dry out. Cake is kind of like bread. If you leave it out, it will dry out. Yeah, no matter how moist you think like your recipe is and stuff. So you want to wrap it up and just pop it in the fridge till the time you want to use it. So this cake, I'm going to use it to make cake slices, and it turned out perfectly. The girl I made it for really loved it. So guys, that's all we're going to be doing today. If you try this recipe out, please make sure to let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much, and see how fluffy this cake came out. Like it came out so perfect. Thank you guys, and I will see you in my future tutorials. Bye.